Okay, we are continuing. Again, Queens to Styles by Nina for providing me with this PDF. Hopefully you're able to click the link okay. If not, maybe Sister Nina can just post that link again right here in the comments, and we can get it from there as well. This is a joint written about 30 years ago, like I said, by William Cooper. We dropped some stuff about FEMA. I want to continue on. This is the protocols of wise men of Zion. All right, so everything's in code here. Of course, we know we're not, you know what I'm saying, they're hijacking us to put their agenda, but we're going to see exactly how to decode it. And, hey, let creation create. Once you have been created for a plan and a purpose, and you realize there is no wiggle room, there's no life. Once you see that there is no option of life, they've given you no option to live. If you say nothing, you do nothing, then you let the tyranny of this disorder give you a new order, because you said nothing and did nothing. So don't complain about the new order to come. Don't complain about what's going to happen to you and yours and people you love. Don't complain if you do nothing and say nothing. By saying something, like we just covered, even verbally, they consider you an enemy because you're going against their plan. It don't matter, man. So if you don't say nothing, they put you in camps and separate your wife and children, and they do unthinkable things, right? The same things they did, you know what I'm saying, before. Slaughter and tearing us and cutting us into pieces and mutilating us and eating us and eating us and eating us, right? So this is called the protocols of the wise men of Zion. The protocols of Zion were referred to in the late 1700s. 1700s. What was happening in the 1700s? Come on. Right. You were being invaded. So this has everything to do with you. The first copy available to public scrutiny surfaced in the early 1800s. Okay. Every aspect of this plan to subjugate the world has since become reality. Not the illusion, but reality. If you don't believe it, you are living in the illusion and participating in the illusion, and you have no say over reality. Don't come here and comment about reality if you are participating in the illusion, because, you know what I'm saying, by default, by not speaking up, by not saying anything. Now, we all, have to choose what we participate in and how we do it. Some people choose to participate in social media. Some don't. Some choose to participate in some things. Some don't. But the more we let these things go in the next few months and so, and before, the better. So if you haven't read it yet, let's keep it going. The first copy available to public scrutiny surfaced in the 1800s. Oh, a lot was going on in the 1800s here with the Corporation of America. Remember, they set up in 1776 officially. Is that not between your 17 and 1776? The corporation gets set up here, owned by the London Company. Every aspect of this plan to subjugate the world has since become reality, validating the authenticity of the conspiracy. Right? It's no longer a conspiracy when it's authentic. Author's notes: this is an exact reprint of the original text. This has been written intentionally to deceive people. All right, so here's how you dissect their writings. For clear understanding, the word Zion should be Sion. Any reference to Jews should be replaced with the word Illuminati. And the word Goyim should be replaced with the word Cattle. So when you look up, this word Illuminati, it just means like some secret, whatever. It's not even like, it's not even the word for it, right? So just know when we say that, it's just secret order. I don't like speaking witchcraft and sorcery. So I just say secret order, the secret order of the secret order. All right. Which at the very top is a goon that was created by your father to kick people's ass for a time, to cause chaos for a time, and at the end to cause Jacob's trouble for those that still are just too blind to see. But for those that see, this order has no power over you. So when they say replace Zion with Sion, right? So I'm going to do this with you. I don't know, right? So I'm going to say, what's the difference? I can't spell for nothing. All right, here we go. Difference between Zion. Oh, there we go. And Sion. Let's see. I don't know. All right. We're going into Revelations. Let's see. Amazingly significant. Hopefully this gives us some drop. 1611, mistranslated in the Hebrew word for Zion as Sion. Alright, so it's called Sion in these scripts instead of Sion. Alright. So mistranslated in 1611, right, by the hijack, or was this intentional, right? I just want to see what we're talking about. The translators of the Greek Septuagint changed all Hebrew spellings of Zion to Sion, okay, because there is no letter S in the Greek alphabet. There's no letter S in the Greek alphabet, which corresponds to the letter Zion, Z, Zayin, Zayin, alright, in the Hebrew alphabet. So, hijack free, you had the Z, Zion. They changed it to Sion. But it makes no sense from the way they're saying it. The translators of the Greek Septuagint changed all Hebrew spellings of Zion to Sion because there's no letter S in the Greek alphabet. So if there's no letter S in the Greek alphabet, wouldn't they just leave it as Zion? Alright. These mistranslations demonstrated that in these verses, the King James translators were ultimately following the Greek Septuagint. Alright, I want to get to the difference. I know there has to be. They're just going back and forth with it, but they're not giving me a definition. The Hebrew word for Sion is Sion. What may be at a glance to be a spelling error was in fact a translation error, an altogether different word from Zion, which is translated Zion. The word Sion and Sion are not interchangeable because they identify two different locations. Mount Zion in Jerusalem and Mount Hermon, also called Mount Sion in northern Israel. Okay. Alright, so if Mount Zion in Jerusalem, and if Jerusalem is Perusalem or Jerusalem, right? So if we go hijack free, when we're right here in Peru, we go to Zion in Peru, they changed it to a different location so that you are calling on a different frequency in this Mount Hermon. Alright, I'm just going with it. Sion equals lofty, another name. I think I know where I'm going with this, but I just want to see something. Where the fallen angels mated with human women. I knew it. Fucking I knew it. Genesis 6. I'm about to throw something out the balcony. Let me go sit back down. So Mount Hermon Zion is the highest mountain in Israel, where the fallen angels mated with human women. It is for this reason sacred to the Merovingian bloodline. The Merovingians are the tribe of Dan. Okay, so they which relocated to Mount Hermon area and intermarried with the Canaanite Tuatha of Danaan. Mount Hermon is in Dan, is located 33-degree latitude. So now we're getting all back into the secret orders. And I'm pretty sure I just want to see something right quick. If I put in Zion, and then, how do you spell seer? I don't know how to spell seer, but y'all know what I'm saying. S-E-I-R. Because I have given you Mount Seir unto Esau for a possession. Sion. Seir. Seir. Seir unto Esau. Okay? Any questions? So when you see this Sion, you're going back to Seir, you're going back to Esau, you're going back to Mount, what they're calling swine, right? Iesus, Jesus, Iesus, you drop the J, it was only invented in, the 16th, 17th century, whatever that is. And it just means swine. Sus, S-U-S in Greek is swine. But Iesus is also what they're talking about. Iesus, which is Zeus. All your hijacks are in there, man. And when they say Sion, you think it's Zion, but they just switched you and hijacked your frequency. So what did they say? Alright. Mount Hermon, Sion, is the highest mountain in Israel where the fallen angels mated with human women. So they are going back to the celestial, right? They're going back to the fallen angels, thoughts, having thoughts and thoughts. Word to J. Stu. And in all these scriptures, they have translated in 1611 hijack as Sion, all this on purpose. All your Psalms, all these Psalms have been switched. So let's go back. Now we have some clarity. Author's note. This is an exact reprint of the original text. This has been written intentionally to deceive people. For clear understanding, the word Sion should be seer or Sion or swine or fallen angel. Any reference to Jews should be replaced with the word, what they're calling Illuminati. I'm just going to say the secret order because they know they're not Hebrew. They know they're not youth. They know they're not the tribes, right? And the word goyim should be cattle, right? But you are, and here, when they say goyim, they're talking about, right, you were put in chattel slavery, right? So yes, a lot of people are going to fall with those that were enslaved. Yes, it's not really color coded at this point. I mean, everybody's going down with this ship that's not in the good boy club. But where's the nucleus of the attack? Who, where's the energy being driven? Who do you see being destroyed before your eyes? Who's being rolled up on, over traffic stops and violated in their homes? Right? Our sister gangs, man. You know what I mean? So rest in power. So let's translate it. So when we see Jews, let's put a secret order in there. When you see goyim, just know they're talking about the beast. They're talking about you, the beast of the field. Remember the Virginia House of Delegates? Remember the Virginia House of Delegates, right? Remember the Virginia House of Delegates, what they said right in your face, right? Right here, right? We have, as far as possible, closed every avenue by which light may enter the slave's mind. You, Negro, if we could extinguish the capacity to see the light, even the capacity, even a small capacity for them to see the light, hey, our work would be complete. They're injecting enslaved Africans, but you, would then be on a level with the beast of the field, and we will be safe. Henry Brown, Virginia House of Delegates, 1832. This is written, he's saying this in Congress, man. That we have, as far as possible, closed every avenue by which light may enter the slave's mind. If we could extinguish the capacity to see the light, our work would be complete, and they would be on the level of the beasts of the field, and we would be safe. Their fear vibration is for their own preservation, and you need to be focused on your preservation. And when you're focused on you being preserved because you're reacting to your invasion. They can't say we're doing nothing when we are reacting to our invasion. They can't deny the invasion, but they want us to forget the invasion. And when we react to it, they say, you're an enemy because you're speaking against our plans. You're speaking against our invasion. You're an enemy of ours because you have a problem with us invading you. But so they have to put us on a level of the beasts of the fields, the cattle, the chattel, and then they can be safe. They can feel like they're safe. Safe from who? Us? Are they safe from Heya? Right? So we're going to replace Goyim with cattle. Know that they're talking about the beast. Sion with swine. Okay? Alright, go too fast. Let's go. Yeah, this whole part right here is about 60 pages or so. So I'm just gonna get the first couple, and then we'll keep coming back to it. I like to do a balanced approach here, man. So we'll see what we can do. Here is the Britain's translation of the complete text. Battery. All right, let's do it quick. I'm gonna get this one part here, and then we'll come back to it. I just wanted to introduce you to some of this drops so that you can get the links and get your own research going. Don't wait for me, man. Just get going. So everybody need to be dropping some part of this. Real talk. All right. Here's the Britain's translation of the complete text of the notorious Nihilist Protocols of the Wise Man of Swine. Protocols of the meetings of the learned elders of Swine. Protocol number 1. Putting aside fine phrases, we shall speak of the significance of each thought. By comparisons and deductions, we shall throw light upon surrounding facts. You see how they use that? What I am about to set forth then is our system from the 2 points of view, okay? That of ourselves and that of the goyim, that of the cattle, that of the beast, you, Israel. So they're going to get it from their perspective and from your perspective, from quote unquote Satan's perspective, right? And from the Creator's perspective. So let's go. It must be noted that men with bad instincts are more in number than good. Here's the fear. Because there's more bad people than good people, we have to put our control over you when they are the ones with the bad instincts. But because there's more men with bad instincts are more than in number with good, and therefore the best result in governing them are attained by violence and terrorization, and not by academic discussions. Every man aims at power. This is their psychology, people. You are in the head of your oppressor right now, and we are translating it. Let's go. Every man aims at power. Everyone would like to become a dictator if only he could. And rare indeed are the men who would not be willing to sacrifice the welfare of all for the sake of securing their own welfare. So we have to secure our own welfare because there's more bad people, and we're going to do it by violence and terrorization. But they create these terrorist groups and they call them terrorists, and they enact these things to further their agenda, further their plans to put you cattle into cages for their own welfare, the welfare of the swine. Let's go. What has restrained the beast of prey who are called men? What has restrained the beast, you, Israel, of prey that they're preying on, who are called men? Adam. Do you see the spirituality, the energy these people are speaking through? What has restrained the beast, they're calling you beast of prey, who are called men? What has served for their guidance hitherunto? Who has guided them? Who's guided these people? In the beginnings of their structure, of the structure of society, they were subjected to brutal and blind force. You, Negro, were subjected to brutal and blind force. Blind force. They had no idea where it was coming from. They had no idea that the Most High had said, hey, go get them. I'm tired of them not listening. I'm tired of them doing their own thing. I'm tired of them not being all united in order. I'm tired of them, you know what I'm saying, not keeping the simple layout. And I'm letting them live in paradise. So this blind force, because we were blind, not as blind as we are today, but a lot of us have been hijacked by Thoth thousands of years ago. By these fallen angels at Mount Hermon that interbred with our indigenous women thousands of years ago. However long it was, it happened. So this blind force hit us then, and this blind, brutal force hit us again, because history repeats itself afterwards to law. So let's say it again. In the beginnings of the structure of society, they were subjected to brute and blind force. Afterwards, these Negroes were subjected to law, which is the same force. Their capital law is their own law. They're saying their law, which is the same brutal, blind force, only disguised. Only disguised. Your laws that they give you are disguised as brutal and blind force, which is why they can never protect you and keep you safe. They're designed to keep them safe from you. You're the beast of prey who are called men. You are the beast of prey that are called men. And now their laws are in disguise. I draw the conclusion that by the law of nature, see how they lowercase that? Now they're talking about the Creator. By the law of nature, right lies in force. So they're saying by natural law, it's about force. What was Joshua supposed to do? That hallway's kicking? By force, retake our land. By force, do that. What did they end up doing? They spared some folks, Canaanite, whatever you want to call them, and they spared them against the order. And he said, well, these people are going to be a thorn in your side then, since you didn't want to listen. They are interbred with entities and energies that can never coincide with you. They are leavening, they're mixing their energy with you. They're going to close your eyes eventually. They will close the generations away from me eventually. You must eradicate the parasite. So they say, well, by the laws of nature, right lies in force. So we're going to force our laws on you by brutal and blind force. Political freedom is an idea, but not a fact. Political freedom, your freedom, is an idea and not a fact. This idea, one must know how to apply whenever it appears necessary with this bait of an idea to attract the masses of the people to one's party for the purpose of crushing another who is in authority. All right, so they put a proxy in authority. In authority, we have presidents, vice presidents, but you can only have a president, vice president of a corporation, not a actual country or kingdom. They have kings and queens. So this proxy is there, and they're going to make this proxy lose control so that they can regain control and give us guidance. But let's keep going. This task is rendered easier if the opponent has himself been infected with the idea of freedom, so-called liberalism, and for the sake of the idea, is willing to yield some of his power. So either you got to give your power freely, they got to give their power freely, or they'll take it. It is precisely here that the triumph of our theory appears, you see. So they're going to put the proxy in power, which is what they did to control the slaves, the cattle, the beast of prey. Then tear that power down, form chaos, and give you a new order, because the chaos would be so crazy. Some will call on the Creator for the first time. It'll be that crazy. Now look, let's get this last part and do our dismount. It is precisely here that the triumph of our theory, their theory, appears. The slackened reins of government, right? They're going to let this stuff go. They're going to let the Constitution go. So the slackened reins of government are immediately, by the law of life, caught up and gathered together by a new hand, because the blind might of the nation cannot for one single day exist without guidance. They're saying you can't for one day exist without guidance. Whose guidance? Whose guidance can you not exist without? And without this guidance for one single day, and the new authority merely fits into the place of the old, already weakened by liberalism. So they've weakened it, and they're putting a new authority because they've taken the guidance of your state, of your so-called proxy and your president, vice president system. They take that away. They fill it with something. A void is there for most people are going to fall right into it because they have no other guidance. But I ask you, Drop Nation, if you have a higher guidance above the vibration, the barrier that Thoth runs away from in Tablet 8, that he has to run back to his body and create circles and patterns that have no angles to get away from the angels and the hounds of the barrier that will take his body and hold it into judgment. He and the dweller have to run from the hounds of the barrier. Whatever guidance is above the barrier, if you have that, are you without guidance? And are you privy and subject to the new authority that merely fits into the place of the old, already weakened by liberalism, already weakened by the idea of liberty? But the idea of liberty and actual liberty are different. It's force, right? The law of nature is force. So first we have to force our asses out of here. Force this land to vibrate with us. And then by force, stand our ground. Or say nothing, do nothing, and perish. We'll continue in this. Love to you. You know what I'm saying? We're keeping our vibration high, but that's why I drop so much vibration drop. So that when we get to this real shit, you have your energy and you understand the nines, you understand what's going on with energy to combat this and vibrate above it and know that that's your creator, that's your signature. Stay up, suit up, and choose up. Love y'all.